we're going to be talking about engage and empower. And this is a focus really on women empowerment, women and young girls. But also we're really focusing on India itself. And engage and empower is India really showing itself, asserting itself, and being a positive leader to the world of Rotary. And this gives you an idea of the neighborhood in which India finds itself. I must say that's a very dramatic neighborhood when you're surrounded by China, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and not too far away is Russia and some other dramatic countries as well. And but India, I've traveled around 4 times the entire country. I go about once a decade, spend some months there, and it's just absolutely an incredible, dynamic, vibrant country. This will give you an idea of the close-up of India itself as far as its various states. And you can see it's such a very long and wide country, and encloses a number of other countries. You can see Bhutan, Nepal, even Sikkim is part of this. And it goes all the way up into the Stans. So it has a long and mighty reach with the teardrop of Sri Lanka down at the bottom. But this will give you a look of the diversity of actually my favorite city in India, which is Chennai. A very beautiful place, a vibrant culture, and very international in so many ways. And that's what leads us to inviting this club, the Rotary Club of Madras, which is the former name of what is now Chennai. And our guest speaker is here with us today. But I'm going to share a few numbers with you, those that are listening that don't know this. And the clubs in India are so dynamic. One, they find it almost impossible to keep up with their new membership. I have here, we have 260 members. I was told that actually you've already added 4 more or more. And they have a good number of these that are women. And Jayshree, who I'll formally introduce in just a second, is the 4th female president of that. But to think if you had a district that had 8,025 and growing number of members and 164 clubs in one district, which happens to be in one city, that gives you an idea of the dynamics of really not only of Chennai in South India, but also the entire country itself, which has 3,000 clubs and growing dramatically. So they're adding new clubs and new members on a week-to-week basis. And actually, in some of these clubs are adding almost new members on a day-to-day basis. So it's a really a powerful area. But I wanted to introduce, this is the president-elect, the 4th female president. This is Jayshree Sridhar. She's president-elect of the Rotary Club of Madras. But you have her full bio, or a shortened version of that, if you will. She is one of the leaders for the country of India itself in television production. And also she is a professor of several institutes of higher learning in all specs of multimedia, television, and trying to share your story with the public. And so because we are really working very diligently on the revitalization of the India-USA ICC, I wanted to have this small step, if you will, towards realizing that goal with having Jayshree here. And she's going to be talking about a number of the different projects that's mostly focused on women and young girls, but it'll give you an idea of the breadth and depth of the programming that's going on with this club. Jayshree, thank you for being here. And to all the club members of the Rotary Club of Madras, thank you for being here in good numbers today and supporting this particular program and future relationship with the Rotary Club of Washington, D.C. in ways that we don't maybe even see or understand today.
Thank you so much for the wonderful introduction. This is the city where I come from. Like Sam said, it is a melting pot of cultures, of multi-ethnic, multi-language speaking groups of people. And Chennai is always called the gateway of South India. We are a very friendly city for those who have visited this country. I am sure you are aware. And for those who have not, please do come. You can take this as an invitation from my club to visit this beautiful 360-year-old city, that is Chennai. Yes. So my topic is engage and empower. And my focus is on women empowerment. And these are some photographs which have been taken from our own centers. They are all students of our women empowerment centers. Before that, I would like to introduce you to the demography of India. India is a diverse polity. It has varying geographical, social, economic, and educational demographies. We are a population of 1.3 billion people, of which roughly 50% are women. And empowering local communities and creating economic opportunities, working on their health and hygiene, and framing strategies for intervention for these people. Now, despite efforts by the government and non-government organizations, only 25% of women are either working or seeking employment. And these are pictures of the unorganized working women in my country. There are women who don't work in offices, but who make a living as flower vendors. They buy fruits, they sell it on the street corners, they buy vegetables and they market it in the local neighborhoods. And these are the kind of women who are constituting a bulk of an unorganized sector. And their average income of these women is around $5 per day, which is a very low amount, and it is not enough for them to sustain themselves. Now, lack of vocational training and entrepreneurship has been the major reason why these people have not been able to progress beyond this level. Now, the national policy of women empowerment in my country has been committed to providing equal opportunities for them in the social and economic realm, equal access to healthcare, quality education, and vocational guidance. However, you can read the government point of view on empowerment of women. But in reality, we are a very large population for any government scheme to percolate to the actual person on the street in a small suburb or in a economically backward section of society. It is very difficult for these women to take a step forward and get a job without interventions from people like Rotary and other social organizations. The Rotary Club of Madras is the third oldest club in India. We were discussing about, before the meeting started, Sam was discussing with my club's historian, Gopinath, that we have chartered 22 clubs. But I would like to state here that every club in South India, since we are the oldest club, chartered in 1929, if you trace the ancestry of every club in South India, it would be a daughter club or a granddaughter club of the Rotary Club of Madras. So all the clubs in the 4 southern states, the southern part of India, have all been chartered by us, if not directly, but through our daughter clubs and clubs chartered by those clubs. So that's how it is. And as for those who are aware of the good work that our club is doing, it is not only we are continuously engaging in reach out programs to the society, we have been doing it for years. the Red RC, Rotary Club of Madras, has pioneered the red measles eradication and the polio eradication program in the whole of India. We have been the pioneers in the polio eradication program. We have been proactive and sensitive to the needs of the society, and always our outreach programs have reached the people who need it the most. Our tsunami project was done at a cost of 1.5 million USD in 2004. There is a school in Perumbakam which we built at the cost of 1 million USD in 2015. There is a reason why only these two projects I have highlighted here, because both the tsunami and the 2015 were natural disasters. Tsunami happened in 2004, and the club immediately got into action, providing homes for the people whose homes had been washed away in the tsunami. In 2015, the worst floods. The city went underwater on 1st December 2015, and lakhs of people were displaced from their homes and had to be evacuated and rescued by disaster relief teams of our government. So it was Rotary Club of Madras who came to their help and built a school for those children who have been relocated from the flood affected areas. And that school is functioning now, vibrant and doing extremely well. Other than this, we have outreach programs spread across the city. And these programs are what I'm going to be talking about, because they are our continuing programs. Disaster programs happen once, but our long-running programs are continuous. For example, we have our programs. We have 3 centers spread across the city. It is in Sembakam, Selayur, and Rotary Nagar. Sembakam is a southern suburb of city. So is Selayur. They used to be villages earlier. Now the city has grown, and these places have got integrated into the Chennai city itself, but it's on the southern suburb of the city. Predominantly, the people who live there belong to the lower economic strata. Particularly, the women have no access to a higher education because of their economic situation. So what Rotary Club of Madras does is we offer them vocational training classes. We have tailoring classes, we have embroidery, and we also have digital literacy classes where they learn the basics of computer. That gives them the employability to get jobs in the local neighborhood. Who are the beneficiaries? They all come from low-income families. And most of them, all these ladies you see, are from our centers. They have only high school education. This is the thing I would like my friends in Washington and other countries to understand. There is one part of India where all of us are very highly educated. You have the brightest of the minds in all the MBA schools. I'm talking about women. There is the other part, this particular segment whom we are dealing with. They are low-income families where after high school, the girls are not sent for higher education, not because of any other reason. The parents would like to get them married. They would like them to set up a family. And this is probably tradition, probably old-fashioned belief, but somehow this is the truth that we face. Most of these people have done up to what we call as class 12. Class 12 is like A-level education. Yes. And this is the most important slide according to me, because none of these women have any fallback. We do not have a social security system. We do not have a government scheme where a certain amount of money is given to each citizen if they are not working, particularly people who, like the lady in this photograph, she belongs to the unorganized sector. The day her shop is closed, she has no money to take home. So there is no fallback. There is no social safety. There's no social security. There is no insurance scheme which covers their loss, nothing. So she works, she buys the flowers, she sells it, she goes home with a small amount of money, which is a profit, and which she uses a little bit of that to buy the flowers for the next day. But on a day when there is a problem, for example, COVID, the last 2 years has been extremely, extremely difficult for the women who are doing these kind of jobs, because it is impossible for them to have people coming and buy from them. And therefore, in the absence of any social security, they have no money at all. So this is where our Rotary Club of Madras has helped. Our courses have taught these women to become entrepreneurs. Either you can do your computer course, get employed in the local neighborhood and earn money, or if you do a tailoring course, you can set up a small shop in your neighborhood. You can buy a tailoring machine and you can become a self-employed person and you can earn money. This is our next project, is health and hygiene. It is RCM's WASH project, where over 1,600 toilets have been built in villages and 11 villages are now open defecation free. Yes. And these toilets are all handed over. All these toilets are handed over and the beneficiary name is written in that board. Yes. Please see this video.
Most of us take access to running water and sanitation for granted. But right in the heart of our own city, we see a paucity of clean sanitation facilities. It is an undisputable fact that education, health, and hygiene are partners to building a productive and healthy future for citizens of India. In alignment with Rotary International's initiative to improve hygiene, Rotary Club of Madras has executed this WASH project in collaboration with Rotary Club of Bath under the Global Grants for WASH project. WASH stands for Water, Sanitation and Hygiene Project. The government high school Sithilapakam was chosen as it caters to children from the weakest economic sections and had a strength of 640 students with barely a handful of toilets for students and one for staff. These toilets were in a ramshackle condition with broken faucets, inadequate plumbing and drainage. Recess time saw serpentine queues of children lining up to use the toilet. Our intent was to address these problems, check the issues of absenteeism, especially amongst girls, curb the spread of waterborne diseases, and educate our next generations on behavioral change for better hygiene. Education, health, and hygiene are partners to building productive and healthy future citizens of India. The focus was on the key areas of meeting a need, creating awareness, and training. The first was constructing gender-segregated toilets and washrooms for students and staff. There are in total 24 for boys, 24 for girls, and 8 for the staff, along with several hand wash stations, soap dispensers, napkin dispensers, all aesthetically put together on par with WHO and UNICEF standards. The next intervention was creating awareness on the importance of good hygiene and sanitation towards an improved quality of life. And lastly, conducting health and hygiene training for all the prime beneficiaries, namely students, staff, and the community nearby, in using the toilets together with educating them on the link between hygiene and good health. This school has seen an increase in the number of students from 640 at the start of this project to over 900 currently and can accommodate many more. This project uniquely highlights the synergy between Rotary and the stakeholders, namely students, teachers, parents, and the community around, to achieve a common goal, integrating water, sanitation and hygiene, education and literacy.
The next thing I would like to talk about is how women empowerment is being done with the help of corporate social responsibility. We have something called CSR initiatives in this country where every corporate is supposed to allocate a certain amount of their profits for the benefit of society. Now, this is a project, it's called Project N Shakti, and it is done by Nippon Paints. Nippon Paints is one of the major paint manufacturers and distributors in the country. Now, they have come to us, to our center. This is our Rotary Nagar Center, where they will train the women to become painters. And they guarantee job opportunity and all the expenses for the training, as well as the gear which they wear when they go and do their painting job. And this is something really wonderful because this shows that women can come out and do jobs that are other than purely traditional, other than tailoring, other than embroidery. They can also go and work in the realm which has hitherto been only for men. We only have men painters here. This will be the first time when there are a group of women painters who will go and do paint jobs. So that is a very interesting project that we have. And that's a CSR initiative by Nippon Paints. Yeah. This is the menstrual health and hygiene project, again at Rotary Nagar. A word about Rotary Nagar. Rotary Nagar is a slum which was adopted by Rotary Club of Madras in the year 1944. And we are still involved, and it is one of our most vibrant centers. Absolutely brilliant work is being done in terms of women and in children education. And this project is about menstrual health and hygiene, and we keep continuing. These are only some highlight projects which we have done in the recent past. Over years, we have been doing this different projects, but the whole area today has become more economically stable. More number of women are working, are studying, are learning things in our centers, and definitely their lives have become better than what it used to be. Our mentorship program, Rotary Club of Madras, we also mentor other clubs who want to start programs like this. This is an example of Rotary Club of Madras Midtown, who is also our daughter club, who's a 50-year-old club, who had a space and wanted to start a class. And Rotary Club of Madras has sponsored the machines and given the training for the teachers for the center, and the center is up and running. Okay, these are just two videos on how we are impacting lives. It's only one minute each. So,
வணக்கம், என் பேர் பத்மாவதி. எனக்கு 2 பாப்பா. பெரிய பாப்பா +2 படிக்கிறாங்க, சின்ன பாப்பா 4th ஸ்டாண்டர்ட் படிக்கிறாங்க. பெரிய பாப்பா கொஞ்சம் நடக்க முடியாது, அதனால பெரிய பாப்பாவுக்கு எல்லாமே நான் தான் பண்ணணும். ஸ்கூல்ல கொண்டு விடணும், அழைச்சிட்டு வரணும். அதனால நான் இருந்தால் தான் சரியாகும். அதனால வெளியில் என்னால் வேலைக்கு போக முடியாது. அப்படி இருக்கும்போது ரோட்டரி கிளப் பற்றி ஒருத்தவங்க சொன்னாங்க. அதனால நான் ரோட்டரி கிளப்ல சேர்ந்து தையல் கற்றுக்கிட்டேன், கம்ப்யூட்டரும் கற்றுக்கிட்டேன். நிறைய சொல்லி கொடுத்தாங்க. சொல்லி கொடுத்ததை வச்சு நிறைய கற்றுக்கிட்டோம். அவங்க என்கரேஜும் பண்ணாங்க. இது மாதிரி தொழில் செய்யலாம், சொந்த தொழில் செய்யலாம், நீங்களே சின்னதாக ஒரு மிஷின் வாங்கி பண்ணுங்கன்னாங்க. எனக்கு அது அளவுக்கு வருமானம் இல்லைன்னு ஜெயஸ்ரீ மேடம் வந்து எனக்கு உதவி செஞ்சு ஒரு மிஷின் வாங்கி கொடுத்தாங்க. அது மூலயமா நாங்கள் எல்லாருக்கும் தைச்சி கொடுக்குறோம், எல்லாரும் நல்லா தைக்கிறீங்க பரவாயில்ல அப்படின்னு சொன்னதுனால கொஞ்சம் பேர் நிறைய கஸ்டமர்ஸ் இருக்காங்க. அது மூலயமா எனக்கு ஒரு 5000 ரூபாய் வருங்க. இப்போதைக்கு நான் கொஞ்சம் டைமிங் தான் தைக்கிறேன். பாப்பா ஸ்கூலில் கொண்டு விட்டு அழைச்சிட்டு வரேன். அவங்களுக்கு முழுக்க பார்க்கறதுனால கொஞ்சம் டைமிங்ல 5000 ரூபாய் வருமானம் வருது. அதை வச்சு பிள்ளைங்களுக்கு ஸ்கூல் ஃபீஸ் கட்டி குடும்பத்தையும் ரன் பண்ணிட்டு வரேன். அதுக்கு இந்த நிலைமையை ஏற்படுத்தி கொடுத்த ரோட்டரி கிளப்புக்கும் மேடமுக்கும் ரொம்ப ரொம்ப நன்றி.
எல்லாருக்கும் வணக்கம். என் பேர் வள்ளி. நான் இப்போ ரோட்டரி கிளப்ல ஒர்க் பண்ணிட்டு நான் இப்போ கிளாஸ் ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணி நான் எல்லாருக்கும் கற்றுக் கொடுத்துட்டு இருக்கேன். எனக்கு வந்துட்டு ரொம்ப அதுல ஆர்வமா இருந்துச்சு. அந்த ஆர்வம் எப்படி வந்துச்சுன்னா வந்துட்டு, என்னோட கணவர் வந்துட்டு திடீர்னு காலமாயிட்டாரு. நான் அதுக்கு முன்னாடி எந்த ஒரு வேலைக்குமே நான் போனது கிடையாது. நான் வீட்ல தான் இருப்பேன். குழந்தைய பார்த்துக்கிட்டு, வீட்டு வேலை செஞ்சுக்கிட்டு, நான் வீட்ல தான் இருப்பேன். கணவர் மட்டும் தான் வேலைக்கெல்லாம் போயிட்டு இருந்தாரு. அந்த சமயத்துல தான் வந்துட்டு ஒருத்தவங்க வந்துட்டு எனக்கு ரோட்டரி கிளப் வந்துட்டு அறிமுகப்படுத்துனாங்க. அது அறிமுகப்படுத்தின டைம்ல தான் போயிட்டு என்ன சேர்த்து விட்டாங்க அவங்க. அந்த சேர்த்து விட்ட டைம்ல தான் வந்துட்டு நான் போய் சேர்ந்துட்ட பிறகு எனக்கு ரொம்ப ரொம்ப அந்த கொரோனா டைம்ல எனக்கு அத நான் வந்து கத்துக்கிட்டு மத்தவங்களுக்கு தச்சு கொடுத்து ஒரு 6,000 ரூபாய் சம்பாதிக்கிறேன் அப்படின்றது வந்துட்டு எனக்கு ரோட்டரி கிளப் சேர்ந்த ஹெல்ப் தான். பெண்ணோட வந்துட்டு ஸ்கூல் படிப்புக்கு எந்த ஒரு கஷ்டமும் இல்லாம நான் சம்பாதிக்கிற பைசா வச்சு அவளுக்கு ஃபீஸ் கட்டுறதுக்கும் என்னுடைய வீட்டு செலவை வந்துட்டு பாத்துக்கிறதுக்கும் எனக்கு ரொம்ப ஹெல்ப்ஃபுல்லா இருந்தது வந்துட்டு ரோட்டரி கிளப் தான். அது தச்சு குடுக்குறேன். ஆனா எனக்கு மிஷின் சரியில்லாம இருந்தது. அந்த சமயத்துல வந்துட்டு நான் ரோட்டரி கிளப் கிட்ட நான் மேம் கிட்ட கேட்கும்போது, மேம் வந்துட்டு எனக்கு ஒரு நல்ல ஒரு மிஷின் வந்துட்டு எனக்கு வீட்டிலேயே வந்துட்டு வண்டி வச்சு எனக்கு டெலிவரி பண்ணி வீட்ல ரூ. 1 கூட எனக்கு செலவில்லாம எனக்கு மிஷின் வாங்கி குடுத்து, இப்ப அந்த மிஷினுக்கு எனக்கு அவ்ளோ அட்டாச்சிங். பரவாயில்லம்மா 2 மாசத்துல வந்துட்டு தச்சுக்கிட்டு கத்துக்கிட்டு வந்துட்டு நல்லா தைக்கிறேன். எங்களுக்கு ரொம்ப பிடிச்சிருக்குது. நாங்க எவ்வளவு பைசா நாங்க ரூ. 300 400 குடுத்து நாங்க வெளியே தச்சு குடுத்தா கூட எங்களுக்கு இந்த மாதிரி அமைய மாட்டேங்குது. ஆனா நீ ரூ. 100 தச்சு குடுக்குற அப்படின்னு சொல்லும் போது எனக்கு ரொம்ப சந்தோஷமா இருந்தது. ஆனா எனக்கு ரோட்டரி கிளப் கைத்தொழில கத்து கொடுத்து மத்தவங்களுக்கு சொல்லி கொடுக்குற அளவுக்கு இப்ப எனக்கு ரோட்டரி கிளப் வந்துட்டு என்னை தயார்படுத்தி இருக்கிறாங்க. அதனால நான் ரோட்டரி கிளப்புக்கு நான் ரொம்ப 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 நம்ம கடமைப்பட்டிருக்கிறேன். தேங்க்ஸ் பண்றேன்.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Yes. So those were two women who have become self-employed entrepreneurs after they did our tailoring course, and they are earning money, good money. So thank you. So that's how we impact lives. Yes.
Thank you so much. The first question I have to the speaker is, this is a very insightful presentation. Well done. And I thank you for empowering the local and marginalized communities. My question might be in 2 parts, but the first thing is, since the Rotary Club has played a very big role in conjunction with your club, what effort are you making to the Rotary Club of your club and the Ministry of Culture in changing the mindset of the parents who push for girl child to form families before they are educated? This is my question to you, Madam Speaker.
The thing is, if you see, this country has multiple different economic stratas. In the higher economic stratas, it is not a problem. Like somebody who comes from my family, I choose everything. I can choose my husband. I can choose when I want to get married. I can even choose to not get married. So that is one thing. But as among the poorer sections of society, there is still this, yes, we have to work on it, and a lot is changing. I will not say that we are what we were 10 years back or 20 years back. Things are changing, but you must understand the mindset of the poor person. For example, I can give you an example of the last video which you saw, Valli, that person who lost her husband. Now, the parents, once you lose your husband and you're not an earning member, you have nowhere to go. See, you can go to your parents, but then the parents say, I can't support you because I don't have money. So it's a question of, can I keep this person with me? If a girl decides to study, if a girl decides to go to college, do they have the financial wherewithal to support that? So it's a question of, where am I going to find the money? So they are really poor families. So it is, a lot is changing even among the poor families. And I must compliment the government. The local governments now are offering free education in some courses. So there are takers for that. I think over time, these attitudes will have to change. And poor people, as they also come up economically, they start thinking with a broader outlook. So that is, yeah.
Yes, sir.
If I am permitted, can I add on to what Jayshree has been talking about the mindset?
Please, sir, please join.
Yeah, this is past President Gopal Ratnam. I take you back to the Maslow's theory of hierarchy of human needs. If food, shelter, clothing is taken care of, you move into the next higher level of security. Security of yourself, your neighborhood, your city, then the country. So the attempt here of Rotary is a person who is ill-equipped in terms of social strata, in terms of education, is given an opportunity to utilize work, to spend time, learn and earn. And this gives the mindset, and the parents understand, the children understand, the siblings understand. If this is what you have been asking for an answer, I hope this should satisfy you. Thank you.
A lot has to do with how much money the family has, you know. When they have no money, they don't look at educating them beyond a certain level. And there is, like past President Gopal Ratnam said, your day-to-day existence itself becomes a challenge. Your day-to-day, your food, clothing, shelter, everything becomes, that is your priority, you know. So, we are reaching out to that group in society. Those who are well-to-do, who have enough economic resources. I think we have a lot of Indians who have, done well for them. I'm talking about women who've done very well for themselves, who have chosen not to get married at all. And I think they're very happy. Yeah. So marriage is not like, it's not a must. Yeah. We have the freedom to choose, but a lot has to do with our economic stability and background.
Thank you for your presentation. I have a question. India is such a huge country with such a huge population. Are you able to have centralized initiatives, or are the initiatives led and realized by individual states?
Individual states, okay, yes.
Yes,
Within the
state-based
country.
initiatives, yes, as opposed to national.
Yeah, I will answer this. We have government at two levels. I think pretty much like the US only. We have a central government which looks after these policies, and at the state level also, we have a government who's very proactive in terms of empowering women and all. But the thing is, yes, the governments are doing a lot to help women. They have, created what we call it as Mahila Udyog. That is, Mahila means women and Udyog means jobs. So there are schemes where certain initiatives have been focused to creating jobs for women, creating self-help groups for women. And but whatever is done in a population this large, for these schemes to percolate to every person, there is a lot that needs to be done. And that is where organizations like Rotary Club of Madras, or any Rotary Club for that matter, we form some sort of we give the last mile connectivity, where there are schemes, there are people, but there is some unfinished business. And can we help? And we are able to successfully do it because we have the bandwidth. And we, as you know, like you, we are all Rotarians, we are all volunteering. And a lot of us are passionate about these projects that we have taken up for years together. So we have been able to impact lives. We have been able to I showed you 2 videos where from nothing, these people are on their own. And one more piece of information is the lady in the first video, she has a handicapped child.
Yes, we
Again,
saw. Mhm.
yes. So again, she's a single mother because the husband left her saying he does not have the economic means to support. So here we are trying to, now these 2 ladies cannot go up to the office of the chief minister and seek help. There are schemes, there are government schemes, but a lot can be done. There is a gap. There are government schemes, there are populist schemes. Particularly, please understand, we are a democracy. Every time there's an election, you have governments giving a lot of gifts to people, but that does not solve the problem. Thank you so much.
Jayshree, we have a tradition in our club of planting a tree in the honor of each of our speakers. So we will be planting a tree in your honor. Okay,
Thank
we
you.
do this in partnership, absolutely. In partnership with the National Park Service. And the
Okay.
tree will not just go anywhere. It will be either on the National Mall or down by the tidal basin. And I don't know how well you know Washington. So we will be inviting you. I don't know if you'll be able to hop on a jet plane and be here, but we will be planting
I will
trees.
come and see the tree.